everybody and welcome to my channel. My name is Penapple and today I am doing Rory's build challenge number 4. So if you're not familiar with what that is, one, I will link her Twitter in the description down below, and two, it is a monthly challenge that she does where she gives you a sort of real life house and it's land or floor plan, and you have to try and build the house off of that and try and make it match as closely as possible. So you can find this build on the gallery. My origin idea is penappleYT. It ended up being a 4-bedroom, 3-bathroom home, and it costs almost 250,000 simoleons, which is a lot. And I ended up putting it on a 40 by 30. Gosh. I choked on the numbers, a 40 by 30 lot in Oasis Springs, and I am really glad that I chose Oasis Springs. And you're supposed to build, you can build in whatever style you want as long as you keep the floor plan the same, and I'm guessing kind of the windows similarly, and so it's a very modern build. I will put a picture up on the screen of what it's supposed to look like, or the base of it is, but I wanted to not go modern. Like, this is my second attempt at this, and at first I was like going modern, you know, and I was kind of just like, I like it, but it's not interesting enough for me. I wanted an extra component, and so just the way the sort of roofs overhang in the picture kind of reminded me of Spanish architecture, and I haven't done a Spanish architecture sort of inspired build on my channel yet. I've done 2 of them before in the past. One of them accidentally got deleted, and it was supposed to go on the channel, but it never did, and it never made it to the gallery either. And the other one is like one of the first builds I put up on the gallery. So you can also go find that if you want. I think I looked at it in my way back when I had 500 subscribers. I mean, it wasn't that long ago, but I showed it in that video too. But anyways, I'm like kind of we're a bit far past that. But speaking of which, before I ramble too far off, in case you are wondering, my 1,000 subscriber competition will be ending today. I'm posting this build on Saturday, May 20th, 2017. But I didn't really mention this because I didn't think of it before, but I will be accepting builds all the way up to midnight on the international date line. So, I mean, I don't know if I'll be watching that closely, but, you know, so just in case, like, if you're, you know, off in Australia and you're like, oh, well, it's the 21st, so I've totally missed that, you should check a clock. Oh my gosh. This went so well, didn't it just? You should check a clock, yes. But yeah, so anyways, just in case you're interested in that, I will leave a link to that as well in the description down below. You could win a stuff pack, which would be cool. So much has happened in this last 2 weeks since the competition started. For one, I am already over 1,100 subscribers, which is crazy. My channel has just been exploding, which I am so happy with. But everything's been so crazy. They just announced the Parenthood game pack, which I'm very excited for. It looks like there's going to be a lot of really fun building elements in there. And honestly, my only concern with it is how it might potentially affect Big Sister Challenge. Like, I'm hoping that they would keep in mind maybe the potential of a teenager taking care of a kid instead of just a young adult or older. So I don't know, I'm a little nervous about that. Hopefully they kind of kept that in mind, because I would love to use some of the new interactions and whatnot with Nell and Kiara. And also, speaking of that, I didn't post Big Sister Challenge yesterday, and so I'm really sorry about that. I was too anxious last weekend to really get it recorded, and so it didn't, and yeah. But it will be up next week, I promise. And so here, I have to admit, back to the build, we're actually talking about it now. I did break from the floor plan, I know. It's like the one rule, and I totally broke it, but that back wall was just so flat, and I think it could look good in real life. But in Sims 4 architecture, just a flat wall that long, I can't. It looks too not good. I just don't like it. So I did mess with the floor plan a bit. I also did really skip out or cut out a whole bunch of the coloring in this build. I haven't done that in a while. I've been keeping the stuff in, but this build just took me so long. It took me for sure 6 hours, but maybe more. There was some stuff that I didn't even try to record. But it was just, and part of the reason why I was so anxious last weekend was because this took me way longer than I expected to build. And I mean, if it had been if other things weren't going on in my life, that wouldn't have been an issue. But at the time, I just felt so frustrated with how long this build took. Like by the end of it, I was just like, I like it, it looks pretty, but I hate it. And I really disliked that, but like I just kind of wanted to get it over with because I was feeling so anxious about having spent so much time on it already. But now that I've taken a step back, I have really come to love this build. Like, oh my goodness, honestly, this is one of my like favorite builds I've built in a while. Like, I just love the landscaping. I love the interior. I just had so much fun building this for the first half. I mean, I'm not going to say I had fun throughout because I definitely struggled, but it was more me struggling with other anxiety in my life than me disliking building. So, you know. But we've moved on to the interior now, sort of. I also tried to make some of the floor plan stuff match. Definitely the kitchen is pretty true. And that was really the only direction here. I have it. Pick it up. Sorry if you can hear that. Yeah, I mean, we kind of get the layout of some of the bathroom stuff, and basically that's it. That in the kitchen and the laundry room is really the only stuff that... Oh, I just realized there's a closet. Whoops. I'm looking at the floor plan and I totally missed that there was a closet in the laundry room. Sorry. Oh gosh. Wow, that's great. Whoopsie. Oh goodness. But anyways, but the rest was kind of up for your imagination. The TV is in a different spot in the sort of living room area, but I just couldn't make it work, and so I decided to change it. I'm really glad I did, just because I do like how it turned out. I mean, this build surprised me in a lot of ways. Like, I didn't think the living room would look like that. The kitchen is pretty spot on. I tried to make this build very suburban, sort of Spanish inspired, like maybe a house in Florida or California or something. Pretty high end, but here's the master bedroom, and I do love how this one turns out. It's not my favorite of the bedrooms, but it's definitely up there, and I do really like it. You can see there's a room sort of behind the bed that's green, and I guess I'll get to that one a bit later, but that one was just too big for its own good, and I had difficulty with it. But I love what I did here with the mirror over the dresser. For some reason, that just seemed very Spanish to me, and I'm not quite sure why, but I did try and go a little bit more minimalistic with the furniture. I mean, I honestly don't know if I really did that so well. I never really know. Because, like, I say, oh yeah, this is totally minimalist, and then there's like 80 pieces of clutter, and I'm like, psh, don't look at that. It's totally minimalist. Oh my goodness. I can't. I'm so excited for the new clutter in the Parenthood sub pack. It looks like there's going to be some good clutter. Yes, bring it on. I will crash everybody's games, including my own. But no, I mean, we did the townhouse collab a while back, and I managed to pick like every single builder in the world who loves clutter. Like, it is kind of the majority of us do, but we almost made the game cry a bit towards the end there. Like, I finally loaded that in my own game, and I was just like, oh my god. Like, I have a really nice graphics card. I mean, my computer isn't the best, but my game was like chugging. It was like, ugh. But so here I did again switch up the floor plan a bit, not just with the extension of the room, but also it had like a shower, I'm guessing, and a bathtub, and it looked weird because the showers are only 1 square big, and the shower in there was supposed to be 2 squares big, and it's really hard to make that look good. So I didn't try to. And so instead I just made that into a shower tub combination and then left where the other tub was supposed to be. But yeah, this little room right here, I love it so much. I love how it turned out. It's a walk-in closet, and it turned so sort of Hollywood glam on me, and I'm like in love with it. And it's all because of the carpet. The carpet is from the Vampire game pack, and I've used it once before when I was doing a renovation of somebody else's build, and so I recolored it, but I've never actually used it myself. And I just love how the feel it gave this room. Like, this carpet made this room what it is, and like so much so that this room made it into the intro. Like, it's actually kind of hard for a little like room like this to make it into an intro for as big of a build of this. But yeah, you know, I never talk about how I make my intros. I should do that sometime. Comment down below, like this video, do whatever, message me on Twitter, comment or whatever. I'm going way too far with this. But if you would be interested in how I film the sort of machinima panoramic intros for all of my builds, I would love to give you guys some of my knowledge. But along with that, I have started a new screenshot trend. You guys seem to really like it in the last one, which is a little sad because it's a lot harder. But I think I will keep doing it because I really like the results. And so even if it takes a bit more time, it's more fun, you know. And so the screenshots move a bit more, and I recorded more stuff that I knew wouldn't make it into the intro just to record it. And that was really fun too, because there's just some stuff that you can't really get a good panoramic shot for the intro. And so it was nice to like take some stuff and know that it won't go to waste, because there's a lot of stuff before that I would just kind of be like, well, it doesn't fit in the intro and it's deleted now. But not in this case. And I've started to be more frugal, no, eco-friendly, kind of, non-wasteful, yes, with my own filming. So the upstairs, we already cut away from it like a long time ago, but that green room, you could see I started it, and then I came to a screeching halt because I didn't know what to do with the other half of it. So I do end up going back to it, but I never really liked what happened with the other half of it. It's okay. It's my least favorite of the 4 bedrooms. I still like it, but it's not my best. But here you can see I'm trying to figure out the layout of this living room with the intent of the TV being on this wall, and it just wasn't working. It was way too close off for me. But I love the color scheme I went with here. Like, oh my goodness, the greens, and then the cream and golds of this rug, and then I added in the sort of painted garage door, and that just like sealed the deal. My only thing with the door was that it kind of blended into the wooden bench, which I think could look very Spanish inspired, but it doesn't if you can't see it. And so like it was the same brown color, so I ended up changing that to a lighter wood, and I'm glad I did. I like how it turned out. I'm nervous. It's difficult for me in The Sims sort of mixing wood tones, but here you can see the color of her dress is exactly like the color of the sort of sofa thing and bench, and so I felt like I wanted to change it so you could see it a little bit better. But yeah, The Sims team is relatively inconsistent with how they pick their wood tones. So let's see, we made it 14 minutes. Wow, we're really 14 minutes in. I am blazing along talking. Haven't even looked at any of my talking points. That's how good I'm doing. But yeah, so we're 14 minutes in, and I have now complained about The Sims, I think, for the first time in this build. I've kind of started to like doing that to see how long I can last before I complain about something, because I am just a grade A complainer. Like, if there is a little thing to complain about, I'm all over that. I shouldn't be proud of it. For some weird reason I am. But anyway, so yeah, just some of the wood tones just don't match, especially with the windows and the doors. Excuse you, Sims team. You need to take a look at it. But yeah, so I have a little trouble, so I hope it doesn't look too bad in this, because I've been actually doing a fair amount of more wood heavy builds, and like I want things in wood, or there's only come in wood, and then I'm like, but this wood doesn't match this wood, and how much can I say wood But this office room is so cute, and I love, love, love the lighting. Oh my goodness, this is, it's a simple room, but I really like how it turned out. My only thing is, I put in this computer, and I thought that my sim couldn't get in the chair. I actually tested this build, guys, for once in a while. I actually did. And the sim just refused to use the computer and refused to sit in the chair. And so I tried everything. I tried deleting the bookcases. I tried moving them back. And I finally tried moving the whole desk outside to see if there's something wrong with the desk, and it was. And so I moved the desk outside, nothing around it for squares and squares, and my sim wouldn't sit in it. He just refused. And so then I deleted the computer, and the sim was like, oh yeah, I can totally sit here now. And I'm just like, what is wrong with you? So that room was supposed to have a computer, but it doesn't, because for whatever reason, it doesn't work. Maybe it's the chair, maybe it's the desk. I doubt it's the computer, but it was weird. It was really weird, and frustrating. But here is the little pantry area. I really do like how it turned out. I did take a fun panoramic shot of just the little shelving unit I built. I used a similar trick that I did in last week's build, where I used the sort of greenery overhangs and sort of tied them together, and it's supposed to be with like rain gutter thingies, and instead I used them as like a bracket to the wall sort of thing. And so I like how that looked. And here I wanted those cabinets, but they looked really weird with walls down, so I decided to go with something that actually showed up when you played the game. But yeah. And I'm adding some more clutter to the kitchen. This kitchen turned out really cute, and it's been so long since I've used one of the sort of pots and pans hanging down thing. They always just look kind of alpha to me. You know, like they're a little bit too delicate. You know, they don't quite fit the bulkier, more cartoony-ish aesthetic of The Sims. But yeah, I really wanted these plates to be here because I just feel like, what suburban mom doesn't collect plates? I'm sure a ton of them don't, but a lot of suburban moms I know collect plates. So if this was going to be a sort of suburban house, I wanted there to be plates. And also I thought they kind of matched with the pots and pans hanging down there. Here is the laundry room. I almost thought of cutting this out just because 2 builds ago I did a laundry room, but I decided to keep it in. Might as well. It's a little bit different than my last one. This is the room where I realized just a couple minutes ago that I totally forgot that there is supposed to be a closet in here. I didn't even, nope, not a thought in my mind. It totally would have worked, but no, I just totally forgot. So that's the thing. It's one of those really small things, too, that I'm just kind of like, wow, that's, like, really right there, though. Why didn't you notice this in all the over 6 hours that you spent building this, and you didn't notice that there was a closet there? I shouldn't be so hard on myself. I really shouldn't. That's part of the whole reason why you guys don't get a Vampire Big Sister challenge this week, is because I was so hard on myself. Like, the anxiety is just, it's so frustrating. Like, this is really one of the happiest times of my life right now. Like, there's a lot of uncertainties going on, but I've just had such a good mood lately, and it's been really nice, and I kind of attribute that to exercising more, which feels weird to say, because I've never really believed that, and I don't believe that for everybody. If you exercise, all your problems will go away, but, like, it actually has been kind of helping, and it's been really nice, you know, to be doing something just for myself, and it's also been helping my anxiety. But at the same time, I've been having panic attacks like crazy, and I haven't had those in a while, and I know why. It's because I'm reapplying for grad school, and I don't want to be. I don't want to go through the process again, because it's a really long and arduous one, and it's just, and most of the anxiety is about me writing my personal statement, which is so hard for me to do because, again, I'm so hard on myself. So, that's what's going on. I thought I'd let you guys know. It can be good to talk about it. Hopefully you guys aren't too annoyed, but I feel like a lot of people in the Sims community have anxiety, and I think I've talked about it before, but it's probably because it is a more female dominated sort of community, but that doesn't mean that men can't have anxiety either, but just there is a higher prevalence amongst women. But anyways, I'm like totally rambling. Here is the room that I was like, what the heck do I do with this room? Like if you cut it off, and like if I were to cut it in half, I'd be like, wow, this room is perfect, it's so cute. But as is, I'm just kind of like, it's too big. Like, what happened to this room? It's not this big in the floor plan, but it just kind of ended up that way to make the master bedroom fit the floor plan better. Oh gosh, I'm breathing I'm like talking way too fast. Oh my goodness, I'm gonna take a breath. Whew. Okay, I am back. I probably went about 20 minutes without breathing, so it's a good thing I'm still alive. But I'm working on the fourth and final bedroom. In all of my talk about my anxiety, I totally skipped over like my favorite bedroom is the sort of dark brown and cream bedroom. Like something about it, it's just so, oh, that was rude. Sorry. Oof. Speaking of anxiety, that's an alarm. I have to go to therapy in about an hour, which I do. I go every week, and it is very helpful. But yeah, so I just really love that bedroom. Something about it is just so sweet. I think if I were to pick a bedroom in this house, other than like the master bedroom having a really nice bathroom, that's the one I would pick. Even though it's the smallest of the bedrooms, there's something about it so nice. Also, with the bathrooms, I only filmed myself doing the master bathroom. Maybe I did the one downstairs. I don't think I filmed myself doing that because they're pretty much all carbon copies. But this bedroom that I'm working on now was originally just a free room, and so I thought maybe I'd put a gym in there, but then I decided I want to use the garage for that, to put in like some gym equipment. And so then I wanted to make this into a kid's room because all the other rooms are pretty mature. And so I went with this, and it was looking kind of drab, and then I just went and exploded with color. This is the first time I've ever used this rug, and I love how it turned out, and I love how bright and colorful this room is. This is one of the rooms this is the only bedroom that made it into the intro, even though it's my like second or third favorite. Like this one and the master bedroom are tied. But I do really like this bedroom, and I love how the windows are laid out. Like, I would have never, I love this challenge because I did things I would have never done. Like, I would have never put the windows in this position. It's a little different, and so I wouldn't have done it. So I really enjoyed that about this challenge, and I will definitely consider doing it again in the future next month. I'm excited to see what it is, and I haven't done it before. Why haven't I done it before? I don't know. I guess mostly I thought maybe some of the builds were a bit too easy, which is kind of the point of the challenge. Like Rory set it up so that people who felt like they couldn't build could build this, to kind of like, be like, hey, you don't have to be the best builder ever to build something really cool, and so, but at the same time, I'm kind of I love my intricate details, which I definitely could have put into those builds if I had really been focused on it, but something about this build really called to me, and it's kind of funny. Maybe it's because it was modern, and I do love modern architecture, but then I didn't turn it modern. I went like the other direction. Like, it's like I just like did a quick whip turnaround. But here is the garage, and I didn't really try to make it look like a actual garage, like in any sense of the word. Like, there's really just a car in a room, and you're kind of just like, how did this car get in this room? Like, there's no actual garage doors, but and I've seen some people use like roofing to make a ramp into the garage, but it'll just be a mystery, kind of like those cars in the mall. Like, how did they get there? I mean, I'm sure there's a back door somewhere, but they always do just look kind of out of place. But I think that despite that, like, inconsistency, I think this garage ended up looking very garagey. Like, there's a little workstation, there's a pool table and a boxing thing, and I just think it looks really, really cute, and I am proud of how it turned out, for sure. And so now I am about to get into the landscaping, and so let me just turn the page here. I actually did 2 pages of notes, which I don't usually do, but I had a lot to say. Oh, before I say more though, I've never used those ottomans in colorful color before, and I was so excited. I wasn't quite sure what to do with that space behind the sofa, but I thought those really suited it. But so here I am trying to figure out what the heck I'm going to do with the backyard, which was a bit hard because, you know, I spent this entire time building off of a blueprint, and then it's nothing. There's no backyard plan other than the sort of porch area, which I do love how that turned out for sure, although it does make me wish for stairs that wrap around corners, like I said in my last build. Yeah. Oh my gosh, my voice is like kind of scratchy, so I'm sorry, but I don't like have any water around me, which usually I like think ahead, but today's been a weird day. Instead of, usually I go to therapy in the mornings on Thursdays, and I also record for the voiceover for my speed builds, and then I go to work in the afternoon. But I wasn't scheduled to work today, so I thought I would take the rare opportunity to go shadow a dentist, which is, you know, one of the things I need to do for grad school. And so that was a lot of fun, but now today's been kind of weird, and I moved therapy, and so that's why it's later. So anyways, that was a really complex way of saying today has been kind of weird. And I don't even know why I started saying that. Kind of lost now. Lost my own train of thought and my own ramblings. But I am super proud of this backyard. Like, oh my god, this is probably my best backyard that I've ever done. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I really do. Like, I like what I did here. I've seen a few builders do this. I can't think of all of them off the top of my head, but for sure I've seen Freezer Bunny do this. And I think Simlissy, I'm sorry if I'm mixing anybody up, but it's not something that I tend to do. I usually tend to put in the flowers and plants that I like and then add in the sort of terrain paint. But this time around, I did want to sort of define it. And so what I wanted to do was, you know, have these sort of set pathways, but then have the landscaping not quite fit in them. And so have the landscaping be even more sort of, what's the word? Organic. Yes. I want the plants to be organic. But yeah. Oh gosh, now I need to burp. Oh, I'm just so attractive, you guys. You know, that was sarcasm. But here I actually managed to make the twinkle lights work. Like, oh my goodness, I am really actually proud of myself, because these things are such a pain in the butt. Like, they're too tall for really any modern build you want to do, but they're not really modern, and like, it's just, they can be a bit of a pain, and so I'm really glad I finally managed to use them. There will be twinkle lights in the new game pack, and so brace yourselves, because everybody's going to be using them. Like, whenever a game or stuff or expansion pack comes out, there's always a couple items where I'm just like, okay, how long are we, how long until we beat this one to death? Because kind of like popular music, there is sort of a renaissance sort of kind of period for music where you just hear it everywhere. And it's the same in The Sims. When there's an object that everybody really likes, you just see it everywhere. And like, I'm not gonna go for it because it's cute, I'm sure, that's why. And I do it too, but I mean, and we all have our stuff. Like, I use that potted plant so much. I'm addicted to it. And I've said that before. But here I'm finally starting in on the landscaping, and that is the majority of this build. I am, of course, going to still talk because there's like 6 more minutes-ish. But if you're not super interested in the landscaping, you can kind of skip ahead now and get onto the screenshots, which are really fun. I'm really proud of them. I'm glad that you guys commented and told me that you liked them, because it's, you know, I think I will do that from now on, unless like I don't have any time or something, which does happen occasionally. But, you know, I'm gonna try and actually record my Let's Plays this weekend too, and try and stay more on top of it, although I am now realizing that I don't have any builds for next week. Whoopsie. I mean, I have a couple in the works right now. Like, I have, I think, a sort of house I'm doing where the roofs are all really curved, and I have a modern sort of penthouse build I'm thinking of doing, but nothing's done. So I'll need to get on that. This one was a lot to put together, and I don't even mind because I'm so proud with how this build turned out. Like, honestly, I can never tell what's going to be popular or not on my channel or on the gallery, and usually what's popular on the gallery doesn't correlate to what's popular on my channel. But whether or not this one gets really popular, this is like one of my favorites. Like, I'm in love with the intro, I'm in love with the build, I'm in love with even this voiceover. I'm actually pretty proud of myself for this one. But yeah, so I hope that you guys all really like it, because just something about this build, wow, rude. I don't know if you heard that door slam. Whoopsie. I don't actually live in a really loud place, but when I record, I do. Just when I record. Anyways, I totally cut my own self off, so who's really the rude one now? Me or the door? Oh my goodness. But yeah, I like this build. I hope you guys like it too. Just something about it, I really put a lot more work into this build than I usually do for some of my builds. Like, even last week's build, okay. I don't know if you could hear that either, but they're slamming doors again. It's rude. But last week's build, I feel like I put a lot of work into it and I really like it, but just something about this one is special. I don't know. Maybe it's because I had panic attack over it. That's what made it so special. That's all you need. Just have a panic attack and then it's a special build. There you go. I didn't actually have a panic attack over this build, but just afterwards I did. Oh my goodness. I shouldn't joke about it too much. It is kind of serious, but with the landscaping, with the anxiety with the build, like, I was doing the landscaping and I was like, okay, the back's done, I really like it, and I turned around to the front of the house and I was just like, oh crap. Like, there was just so much more to do. I like really set myself up for a lot of landscaping, and it might not be the most interesting thing, but I decided to keep it in there just because I don't always feel like I'm the best at landscaping, and I hope this landscaping's okay. I'm a little worried it might be too cluttered, but I really wanted to make it look very lush and vibrant and colorful. Like, I tried to stick to reds, whites, blues mainly, and then also pinks, oranges, and yellows, which basically is the entire actually, never mind. I'm thinking about it. I got every color in the rainbow. I have some purple flowers in there, and then of course the green of everything else. So red, yes. Orange, yes. Yellow, yes. Green, blue, purple, yes. Check, check, check. All of those above. So never mind. There is no color scheme. I lied. I did set out with a sort of pink and white color scheme to begin with, but then I added in some blue to kind of like spruce it up a bit, and then I just dissolved into Magnus. So that's how it turned out. Oh my goodness. But we are coming up on the end of this build. I really do hope that you guys enjoyed it. If you did, feel free to give me a like, a comment, and subscribe. And since I don't have any ideas for next week, well, I do, but kind of. Please let me know if there's anything you'd like me to build. I will definitely take it into consideration. I look at every single one of my comments. I really do. And I try and reply to all of them. I think I do. I don't know, I hope so. But anyways, I hope that you guys are all having a great day. The screenshots are coming up soon, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!